Hey guys, your gal Becca Hilburn here, and today we're going to be reviving a dead and dried out iron lock striker. And the tools you're going to need are a pair of tweezers. I use my Copic tweezer, and you're going to use that to remove the two nibs. Mine are thoroughly desiccated. You're going to want a clean pipette, a clean bowl, and some rubbing alcohol. First thing you're going to do is you're going to soak your nibs, especially if they're rock hard. You're going to soak your nibs in some rubbing alcohol for a while. And that is to revive them, to work out that loose, gunked up, dried dye and solution. And after you've done that for a little bit, we'll check back in. So it's been about 10 minutes. And as you can see, some of the ink has already sort of worked its way out of the nibs. And the intention isn't to get all of the ink out of the nib. The intention is to get the nib in working order again, especially if it's you don't have replacements for these, and I'm pretty sure I don't. And yes, I could probably contact Bombing Science about this, but I want to see if I can resuscitate it on my own first before I contact them. Especially because I don't see iron lock sets sold individually. I don't know where I would find them open stock. I haven't seen them around. So I don't want to necessarily send it back and maybe get another broken one. Let's test out one of the two nibs. Let's see. Probably soften a little longer. I know, right? Real accurate here. That one's almost there. See, what we're doing first is by resuscitating the nibs, when we put rubbing alcohol into the body of the marker, it doesn't have to work its way through the nibs all over again. It's already going to have an improved chance of working. And that's what the pipette is going to be for, is for piping in some of this rubbing alcohol, actually, because it's already got some of the ink in it. And I might need to add a little bit more. We'll find out. But if I can start with the ink I've already removed from the pen, we're already starting out ahead in terms of not being as watered down, not being as diluted as it might otherwise be. So I'm going to let these continue to soak. I'll check back in with you guys. All right, checking in on those nibs because the bullet nib should be almost. It's getting there. I guess these things take time. Okay, so even though my nibs probably aren't ready, I went digging and I found some other nibs. I found the Prima nibs that they gave me, and I rehomed. Oh, that's too big. I was gonna say I rehomed my Primas, so don't have them anymore. That won't fit. I was thinking about if I needed to replacing parts. Let's try these. Will you fit? I don't know that you would work though. So this is an optional brush. Oh, nope. I had to toss that because it wrecked it. All right. So I don't have good options here because I don't have anything I can replace my nibs with that won't get ruined. All right. So if these nibs don't resuscitate, I'm gonna have to toss the marker, and that's a shame because it's a brand new marker. Well, brand new to me. I mean, you know, like, it's not my fault if it sat forever on a shelf or something. All right, so we've got one nib replaced, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave it soaking in there just so that it stays wet while the chisel nib resuscitates. So without thinking, I started noodling around with this, and I put my nib back in, which I think I did on camera. And I also used some of the rubbing alcohol and squirted it into, you can feel the felt if you get in there, squirted it into the felt and then allowed the excess to drip. And I'm trying to reconstitute that felt. And what I'm going to end up doing is allowing it to dry, or rather to cure, to sit for 24 hours with both nibs put back into place horizontally, and hopefully that will finish the job of reconstituting the nib. But I'm still waiting on that chisel nib, which is just, it seems wrecked. Like, I would replace it if I had something that would fit and wouldn't get wrecked. But I'm waiting on that nib, and it doesn't seem to be seeping out. Maybe it's like filled this end already. Who knows? Okay. Not so bad. All right. So it is taking the ink at least. And I'm not super concerned that it's not all staying in. My concern is just like anytime you have something like a sponge, for example, it may take a while for it to be able to soak up the same amount of liquid if it's had like a solvent dissolved into it, kind of ruining the sponge. So I don't really mind that it may take a while for this to work. I do want to try to keep it as horizontal as possible while I wait on that nib. Hey guys, so most of the rubbing alcohol has evaporated out of my the iron lock nib, the little bowl with the iron lock nib that I'm trying to resuscitate. And it seems like the nib has lost most of the sort of dried out qualities it had before. So I think it's time. Come on, you. I think it's time to reassemble. And allow the marker to rest overnight. And I'm going to store the rest of this ink in a spray bottle. And we'll check in tomorrow to see how this marker is doing. Hey guys, so this is that iron lock striker that I resuscitated, and I let it sit overnight, and now we're gonna take a look at it and see. It's looking a lot better. See, oh, there we go. All right, see if it worked, which I think it did. I think you guys were able to guess that it could as soon as I... Now, I don't recommend this resuscitation method on refillable markers. Just like replace the nibs and, oh, that might not work anyway. Let's see. Oh, looks like both ends work fine. Awesome. Fantastic. All right. So I wouldn't recommend this necessarily on markers that you can get the refills for. But if you have a Prismacolor that you know should still be good and it's dead, or a striker, for example, that you know should be good but it's dead, or basically any non-refillable or difficult to come by refillable marker, the method I showed you worked well. It takes some patience. It is a little bit of work. It does require a couple of tools. The Copic tweezers to remove the nib and the alcohol to resuscitate it. And I even have some leftover ink that it's rubbing alcohol and whatever concentrated dye was in the nib. This color is Possibly not. I mean, you can't really go by the color chart. Let's see if I can find it. Y701. So, I mean, you know, this is a darker, more peach, more skin tone color than that. But I'm pleased with it, partially because I thought it was going to be, in my past experiences with resuscitating markers, they tend to be really desaturated. They're not the color at all. They're not even a usable color, really. But in this instance, it seemed to work out okay. So, I hope you guys found that helpful. I hope you found it useful. I hope I can help you save a couple of markers that are going for the trash heap. I'm Becky Hilburn. I hope you guys have a good day and good luck bringing your dead markers back to life. Bye.